Hello my wonderful people out there. You're once again welcome to Maths with Uncle Tony, and in today's section we'll be looking at square and square roots of decimal numbers. So you are to find the square and the square root of decimal numbers in this example. And number 1 says we have 0.11 all squared. What's the meaning of this square? It means that we are to multiply 0.11 twice. 0.11 twice. That's the meaning of this square. So to multiply this, if you have been following my video, you remember we did multiplication of decimal number. But a quick recap. This is 2 decimal place because if you count from your right hand side, 1, 2, this number have 2 decimal places. The same thing 1, 2, this number have 2 decimal places. So 2 decimal place, for multiplication it will become plus 2 decimal place again, it will have 4 decimal places. So we can now confidently remove the decimal point and multiply before we return back the decimal point. So if we have done this, so we can confidently 0.11 is the same thing as 11 multiplied by 11, or 0.11 multiplied by 0.11. So 11 multiplied by 11 will give us 121. Remember our decimal point has 4 decimal places. So we count from the right hand side, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, which means from here 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 0 here, we have point, we have 0 here. So which means from your right hand side you move 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore our answer is 0.0121. So the square of 0.11 is equal to 0.0121. As easy as possible. Now number 2 says the square of 0.22 or square. Just like I said before, this square means we should multiply it twice. This multiplied by 0.22. Okay, 2 decimal place here plus this one 2 from your right hand side, 1, 2. Both number have 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places, it equals to 4 decimal places. So we can now confidently remove the points and multiply, which means 22 multiplied by 22. If you multiply 22 multiplied by 22, it will give us 484. It will give us 484. So now we return back the decimal point that we remove by moving 4 decimal places from your right hand side. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We fix our point here. The empty space we fill in with 0. We add 0 outside, meaning that our answer is 0.0484. This is our answer for number 2. Okay, we have the number 3 question, which says we should find the square root of the following decimal numbers or following decimal. This question can be scary, but is a better way of simplifying the decimal point. We're simplifying a square root that has a decimal point. Okay, the first thing you need to do is we have the square. Now if you observe, this number have 2 decimal places. If you count from the right hand side, 1, 2, which means we have 6064. I counted 2, which means I'll add 0 under, 2 zeros under them with 1 under. Remember, this square root sign covers everything. So by removing the decimal point, which means I'm dividing by 100, because I counted 1, 2. The done number will have 2 zeros followed by 1. I've not done anything to the number. If you point your calculator, or if you divide 64 divided by 100, it will give you 0.64. So I've not done anything to this question, but rather trying to simplify it. Okay, now square root of 64 is 8. Square root of 100 is 10. So 8 divided by 10, you don't need to press your calculator or punch your calculator. Rather, this is 1 0, we move 1, put our point, our 0, then our answer is 0.8. For emphasis sake, Now 64, some may be wondering, how did I get 8 as the square root of 64? Let me just quickly do a recap. If you've been following my video on square and square root of number, for 64, you can quickly write 64, then divide by 2, because it's an even number. 2 here is 32, 2 here is 16, 2 here is 8, 2 here is 4, 2 here is 2, 2 here is 1. If you draw your square root sign, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you pair each two, the same. The numbers must be the same before you pair. So each 2 you pick 1. Multiply by each 2 you pick 1. Each 2 you pick 1. So 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, and 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. So that is how I got this, my 8, as the square root of 64. If you do the same for 100, you still get 10. Just a quick recap for you to understand how I got my 8 and 10. So likewise for B, which says the square root of 1.44. In the same way, this number has 2 decimal places. So if it has 2 decimal places, so we remove the decimal point. Because of the 2 numbers before the decimal point, we have 2 0, then we now add 1. I've not done anything to this number, because 144 divided by 100 will still give you 1.44. Okay, what's the square root of 144? It is 12. And what's the square root of 100? Is 10. So 1 0, you move backward. So which means from here, we move once backward, then we have 1.2. So the square root of 1.44 is equals to 1.2. Let's quickly look at the C part, the C section, which says the square root of 0.0025. So this number, how many decimal places this number having? 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, from the right hand side, you have 4 numbers before the decimal point. So invariably, I can confidently, 0.00025 is still 25. So I can still put my 25. Then, remember, I counted 4 places, which means divide by 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm having 10,000. Because 1, 2, 3, 4 represent the number of zeros you're writing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros followed by addition of 1 to simplify it for a child. Now, what's the square root of 25? The square root of 25 is 5. Then, the square root of 1,000. Maybe I should do this one for easy clarification. So we have 1,000, or 10,000, I mean to say. 10,000. Let's divide 10,000. 2 into 10,000 will give us 5,000. This is 5,000. 2 into 5,000 will give us 2,500. 2 again into 2,500, we have 1, 2, 5, 0. 2 again can still go. We have 6, 2, 5. Then obviously 5 can go into 6, 2, 5. We have 5 here. 5 into 6 is 1. Remember 1. Place it behind 2 becomes 12. 5 into 12 is 2. Remember 2. 5 into 25 is 5. 5 can still go. 5 into 12 is 2. Remember 2. Place it behind 5, it becomes 25. 5 into 25 is 5. So we have 5, 5, 5, 1. So, on a quick one, if you arrange them, each 2, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we pair them. Each 2 you pick 1. 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 So 2 times 4, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. And 20 times 5 will give us 100. So the square root of 10,000 is 100. So we have our 100 here. So now we have 2 zeros. So which means we have to move 2 times. 1, 2. Place your point, add 0, add 0. Our answer is 0.05. So the square root of 0.0025 will give us 0.05. Now looking at this is our take-home exercise. We have to do, we have number 1, the square of 0.31 and the square of 0.25 and the square root. This is square root of 1.69 and the square root of 0.0016. Follow these simple examples that I solved and I believe we're able to solve this. There's nothing to be scared of. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share, like, and comment. Thank you very much and remain blessed. Bye-bye.